Hello, welcome back. I'm going to continue to talk about my book King Paimon, Lord of the Endless Silence, The Lord of the Abyss, written by me, ANAïS GIULIA. And I will continue the recording from the last thematic. This is a recording part of a playlist where I talk about my book and about King Paimon. And the other recording, we have talked about the shadow and the light and the dark. And then, I thought we can continue it. And then we have the black and white, if we think of the white color. For example, if you have a palette with colors, there's of course different colors, red, green, yellow, and then blue and so on, browns, and then you have the yellow or green or different shades, and then of course you have the white and the black. So it is of course both very important, the black and the white. It's always I combine the colors freely when I paint. So if I have a palette now, if I want the green to be lighter, I put more white. If I want it dark, I put more black, and so on. Certain ones is to change, the colors to change. Of course, the colors too between them, Sometimes I put darker blue with lighter blue and so on and so forth. But it's very much about light and dark, If I was to think about when I paint, it's like I think first, do I need like a lighter color, Depending what I'm painting, if it's the sky. It's almost like depending what I'm painting, I'm choosing the color. And then the combination is the free aspect of the artistic aspect of the painting. In general, I paint landscapes, so for me it's now I need like a darker color. Sometimes I make the trees or the horizon and so on, or different shapes, but I can use red too for that, but I always try to combine as many colors as possible in beautiful shades. Then I paint in watercolor, so it's element of water, which helps to create painting, and so on and so forth. But if we go to the exercise now, we thought about the white and black. So the white and black is used in general. Each colors have the more light color or the darker color, like green, light green, or dark green, and light blue, like dark blue, and so forth. Or we have yellow, can be lighter or can be darker. If it's not dark enough, then I put a little more black. If it's not light enough, I put more white or yellow, So there's a lot of combination when you have the palette. In general, I have like 64 colors palette. I like like medium size, easy to use, and the black is the color that goes first out, because it is very intense. I try not to take too much out of it, but I use it a lot. So the white as well, even if I have more shades like light silver or light or more gray, but more to the white, and then I have only white. Principally, I like to use it and it goes very fast too. For example, I use it if I have like the almost finished painting and I have the colors, then I spray, or I take the brush and then I put with the white to give more accent, Especially it looks very good if it's on a total dark part, or in general I try not to make my paintings not too dark, so I create different effects. Of course, the painting, if one is a painter, one works with light and shadow, and you work with different tonalities, different shades of colors. So you have to know the colors, you have to find your palette that you like to paint, and so every painter has their own way and palette that makes the choice, makes the result too as well. But finally, it's the painter who does the creation, the work, And there are different ways to paint. But I think even in oil color or in general in painting, one uses a lot of the white and black, Sometimes even more than the colors, or say, well, the colors are more many. That's why they resist longer, but it is true when I say that the black and white is used the most, because it really goes very fast, You need black to accentuate things, to make colors more dark. I always like to use black in some paintings. Of course, it's the choice too. I can use a lot, some paintings less, but I think all my paintings have, in general, as I say, I combine my colors. I like to combine the colors when I paint, no? Almost to say the colors do work with one another, and I know pretty much which color fit good to which. For example, yellow and green fit very well together, white and blue. Then you have the black with the green, with the yellow. Now then I accentuate, or I can put little red, little yellow. In general, I take less. For example, if I paint the sky, I have the yellow, a little like, you know, the sun, or I can put orange, or I can put, of course, blue, or I put just a little bit, no? It's depending on the painting. Sometimes I like to put more water and less color, and then I put some salt, and it creates something on the paper, and so on and so forth. So there are different ways, different techniques, no, that I use to get my painting, to get my final result. Sometimes I like to use powders because I like copper, or like dust, no? It's just for the shine aspect of it. I really like how black and copper look together. Or I like a black and green very well together. I love black and yellow together as well. Pink or red fits very good to green, so on so forth. Blue fits good to yellow or green or black, no? They all somehow fit well together, but there are some, like, my own, my own likeness, no? The way I like. But in general, I think black and copper, or some types of warmth, look very nice together, especially if it's a shimmering I use in my paintings. Or, as I said, I like white and blue. And then I need the black too to create texture now, or as I combine the colors, depending what I'm painting, if it's a mountain, if it's a lake, if it's I say wiese, like you know, where you have grass, no, different plants. Sometimes I paint flowers, then I have the petals and the colors and so forth. And of course, in each painting is very important, the tonality, the colors that are chosen for the specific painting, no? But as I've said, black in general, it attracts, no? It's like I need to use the black for the details, because in the painting it depends where the eye goes. So I try to balance my painting, no? In general, they all keep pretty much the same as I start them, but then I create always something else, no? It's like my own imagination, or the plants, or the trees, and then the lake, and then I like to mix the colors. That's another aspect. So what I want to say with all this is that, you know, there is always a technique, there is always a own uniqueness, no, that the painter brings to it, depending on their likes of the colors, of the choice of one material one uses, and so on and so forth. That's why I think it's important that each painter finds their own structure, their own material that they love to work with. That's important, no? Or they say, well, if it's in painting, do I paint with watercolor, do I paint with oil color, do I paint with acrylic colors, or what type of material, no? What color I use. Some people like even to create the powders, no? In general, I said I like powders. I think it's great, like color powders, no, that one can use. So it's like the set of colors, no? I have my own set of colors that I always paint with, and I find it the best. And I cannot paint in oil. I could, but it's not my interest, so to say. My pleasure is really only watercolor. And I cannot paint the things I want in that material. No, I know it's not going to work the same. The painting will look the same. And I really love the watercolor aspect of the painting. That's for me the pleasure why I paint. So most you say the colors invite me to paint, no, or the paper, or my own work then. So there's the element of something unique, no? And say every subject that one takes, even if it's a book, there's always the element of new, or the element of something unique that one brings to the table, no, to the subject or to the colors, and of course many different aspects as I've talked about. So it's almost to say, well, then I love my paintings. No, it's like I cannot I cannot change the way I paint. I will never change the way I paint. Even if someone will say, paint me, well, I can draw a little bit, but I cannot paint in a different way than I paint, no? It's like, why? It's like, these are my paintings, this is what I like to paint, and for me, nature is like my thing, no? What I enjoy. Of course, if it is watercolor, I can try or paint, this, make the drawing first, and then you paint with the color on top, or different exercises. Sometimes the exercise when you paint is more slow. You just like feeling the colors. Sometimes you paint faster, no? So I say you almost like the painter knows before already that the work is finished, what is going to be. It is not always successful. Sometimes a painter say, well, I don't like it, I don't think it's so good, but that's the exercise as well, no? And some paintings can almost like make the painter fall in love with them, no? It's I didn't realize I paint. Sometimes I forget even the paintings I've painted, no? And sometimes I find in my paintings aspects I've never seen when I was painting them. So it's always like, I really love this painting, or when I put it in the frame, no, it looks very, very beautiful. So the element of freedom when I paint, no, especially with these extra materials like salt, and so it creates something that I find very beautiful. The technique, it is not a complicated technique, no. It's quite easy for me, to be honest, to paint, and the result is exactly, I'm happy with it, no? In writing, it's a little bit different, because why it's different? Because it requires, less freedom, no? Painting is more like for fun, in a way. It's a more pleasurable hobby. Writing is difficult. It requires, time, it requires energy, of course, and it requires knowledge, it requires a lot of ideas, and so on and so forth. But if one is able to see writing as a very creative process, that it is, find their own technique the same way as in painting, no? The things don't have to be, things are not difficult then. So the question is like, what makes one a painter, or what makes one a writer, and so on, is their choice first, and then there's their love for the subject, no? Or the interesting aspect of them creating that work, or enjoying of that work and the result, no? The painting or the book itself. But one has to love too the creative process and the writing process. But there are, of course, differences, no? Painting is more free. It offers, especially through the colors, a very beautiful, enjoyable process, and one can decide, there's an entire element how to paint, no? Some paint very slow, and they take some moments before they put the color. Some like to go very detailed, some like to go a little faster, no? As I said, it doesn't, of course, it's not the same, and that's the unique element. It's like you have to put a lot of unique elements in your paintings, no, to make it, beautiful or appealing or interesting. So it is technique as well too. I want to say, in the painting you need to have the hand trained, no, how to work with the brushes. There is, of course, the element of the confidence, no, of the material. How one take the brush, which brush is good, the colors, no? One gets to know the colors, and so on and so forth. And it's nice to have nice brushes and nice colors that you enjoy, nice paper, and then one starts to paint. So there is a process of the artist, until the moment of painting, that has to be, it's always the same. So there's, in a way, a feeling of repetition, but at the same time not, no? So I like to paint. When I paint, not only one, I paint when I start, and I paint, as long as I feel like. So sometimes it can be 1 hour, sometimes it can be longer. Sometimes it depends on the time, no? But when I have the chance and so on, I do like to paint. And I think painting is a very pleasurable activity. I think everyone is able to paint, absolutely. I don't think it's about talent. I think really every person can paint and should paint if they feel like, no? There's this beautiful freedom that comes with the art. It has to be something that one wants. It cannot be, it's not, you have to have the joy to paint. The same with the writing, no? As I've said, there are some huge differences between painting and writing, but there are some similarities as well. In the same time, of course, it's different because we finish with the painting and the writer finishes the book, no? So there are like differences between the two activities, but it is very pleasurable to write. It's almost like the same aspect with the painting. No, you have time for yourself. You meditate. You work. It is nice if you like words or you like to write. No, you enjoy the material. At the same time with the painting, to be honest, if I was to choose, of course, I like painting more. No, I find painting enjoyable. I always did paint since I'm a child, even if not often, but I find it easy, I like to encourage people to paint. I think it can be easily taught, and a little guidance, the right guidance, and then one can start. Some people say, well, almost like they enjoy it so much and they have this talent. Of course, there is more talent, people with more talent in this area, of course, and they really love to draw and paint, and they have their own style, and it's like the artist aspect of it. When we go to writing, it is a little slower, the process, of course. It takes longer to write a book, much more longer. So the writing process, it is intellectual. Not to say that painting is not intellectual. It is, or it can be even, depending on the artist, but it is intellectual too. But writing, no, it's more, you have to work with which I say the idea, the fantasy aspect. As I've said, of course, even that you find in the painting depends what type of artist we're talking about. Each artist has their own way, and they should have their own way. They should follow their own way to paint. I think that's the aspect of art and freedom that I really like. And of course, writing too is the same. The beautiful art of writing in general, to write with a pen, or to write computer, or in general to write, it is something that humans enjoy, and we love writing or reading and so on. But art is like different. It's like the element of art is, in my opinion, higher. But it's this, how I say, one can discuss it, can be different opinions, and none are wrong, each one have their own idea, when it comes to art, what is beautiful, what is not beautiful, what they like, what they don't like. So there's no problem, I can like this, or I say, well, this painting I don't like, I don't like this, there's no problem in sense. Well, that's the idea of art. It requires, or it takes some type of attention, some type of taste, or some type of sometimes even things that fit on a certain color, or on a certain, so it doesn't take away what art is, the element of art is very, very important, very beautiful. And I do have my favorite painter or artist. At the same time, I think the beautiful thing is one to find their own technique, or their own art of painting, or their own style, that's the pleasurable aspect of it, to create something that is truly uniquely yours, created by you. So the original, I really like original art, so made real, it's not a copy, it's the original. So, of course, when I say it is, from this point of view, art like a higher form, and I think it should be, it's not only it is. And the element of writing, it is, how I say, it can change as well, no? And say, well, when I was a child, maybe I didn't like writing, or maybe I always did in some way or another, but sometimes I like it, sometimes not, no? And then later I say, well, now I do write a lot and I enjoy it more than I enjoyed it when I was younger. But the same with painting, no? I did paint at the same time. I enjoy painting later in my life, where I really went after it and really discover, no, that I have talent, or that my paintings are beautiful. And I'll do like drawings, to draw. And it's interesting, no? Once you develop as an artist or a painter, when you draw, you always get more confidence, and you always think, oh, now I could actually draw or challenge myself to draw a rabbit and paint it now, or just with 2 colors or 3, and I could make it look like a rabbit. Now one can of course exercise, and it is a pleasurable activity, no? So at the same time, I even if I can do that, or I can enjoy that, I like to paint the way I paint. That's my paintings. Now I'm proud as a artist can be, no? This is my paint, this is my style, no? I can just try or do other things, no problem. I would enjoy it, but I like to paint the way I paint, or I like the result, no? Or the process of painting the way I do. And it's pretty much the same with my books. So there are quite a lot of parallel, not in my story only, but speaking about writing and painting in general, no? The colors are very important, as I've said, in a painting. In the same time, when you write books too have a color, no? You use a lot of the imagery, no? The colors, the things, and so on. So one can create too, almost like a canvas of the book, no? Each book I can say, well, this book has more red and black colors, so it's like I see dark blue or dark brown, or there is a feeling to the book as well. In drawing or painting, it's more visible, no? But in writing, not. So one can find different things, no, to say, well, to paint, no, I think, to be honest, there are more painters than writers, or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I do say, of course, the process, I don't say the process of painting is easy, depends, no, but the process of writing is not easy, no, so at least for me in this case, so for me painting is more like a easy task, no. Maybe because I painted too a few years, so I have already, but to be honest, from the beginning, no? My paintings were good from the beginning, so maybe that's the answer too. When you find your own material, it will function easily from the beginning, no? But I am more and more interested to drawing as well, so I will try later on different type of paintings, and I'm sure they will look nice, but my heart is in the way I paint at the moment, or as I painted until now. At the same time with the writing too, my books, I write different genres, or I think what type of book I would like to write, no? Sometimes the answer comes faster, sometimes longer it takes. It is a process, it's a longer process. The process of writing is longer than the process of painting. But one can stop now and say, well, if I paint 7 paintings, maybe I go like 10. To be honest, or how long I go on a painting depends, no? But like a medium, size, maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe faster, maybe it can take longer, no? But if I was to paint 1 hour, sometimes, as I said, I paint more in the same time, or I paint just a few, 2 or 3, no, when I paint. So there's like a difference too in how fast or how what exactly I'm painting. So it's always difficult to say the time, but in general, say 15 minutes, no, 20 minutes. It goes faster even sometimes. But I do paint not only one, no, I paint like 6, 7, or in sets. and then I let them dry, and then I always check. Sometimes I put a little more. So you see, it takes a time, no, until I say, well, now it's ready, no, and then I dry it, and then sometimes I have to clean the salt away, no, and then I put it onto something a little heavier that the paper is straight, and then then it's ready for it to be put in a frame, no? So I don't know how important the time is, but I think I do paint quite fast when I paint. I think that gives the quality of the painting, no? It's more like I train my hand, and I'm very good. I know I like, for example, no, say in one movement I create a line. There's also say less movement creates even more form. It's like old Chinese understanding, no? It's like the confidence of one line, no, or how strong I go with one color, and then I have to move fast because of the water, no. So it is the material as well. Some paint slower with the watercolor. I tend to paint faster because I combine more colors, and to be honest, I do have a lot of training in the hand, no? I train the hand in the movements. Of course, I change the brushes, no, depending what I'm painting. I start with the larger brushes, then I go with more in detail, and so on and so forth. Then the choice of the color. Sometimes, as I've said, I go with a darker color, like the. Not always I start the same. I'm very free in the way I choose what and where, no. But I do have a certain idea in my head what I want to paint. But I like to let it to element of free, you know, like the water, and combine the colors. It goes quite fast and then as I said, no, I like this more like bold type of colors. I like to use black as well.